We're technically day 7. 6.2.
6.95.
No, baby. Yeah, you're right. But we are currently, it's like 2 a.m. We're walking to different convenience stores to find a soap for me to use to take care of my tattoos. Got a tattoo on day 6, and then day 8, I'm getting 2 more. So, got to get all the right things, folks. But it is so quiet and humid and warm, and there's pockets of people just vibing. Technically day 7. We actually got about 3 to 4 hours of sleep. Looks like a cloudy covered day, so this will be good. The UV index is low, but still wearing sunblock. Woo! Come on, baby.
Hey! Whoa!
Yo, at this point, we were already establishing places that we were revisiting, which is this delightful little place in the Benton Market, and just getting just a quick dessert and food there because we knew it was going to be good. And honestly, we ended up frequenting Benton Market probably more than we even thought we would, but it was great just to walk around, cool down, easy place to shop, easy place to get food and drinks. And so this place actually was an entire vibe. And since we were coming earlier in the day, it was definitely not as packed or as hot as it would be if we came later. So gotta love a little counterfeit shopping spree. We didn't buy much. And we found this place. All I wanted was kamtam, that big, just a broken rice dish. And we were walking around, found a ton of people by this stall, so I knew this was the place to go. We got seated right away, and it was such a production and a vibe that I loved it so freaking much. And look at all this good food. Wow. Baby, look. Wow. Come on in. It had all of my favorite stuff. It had fish cakes, which I love. It had the rice and pork mix, and everything was just so wildly fresh. It was slapping. Day 7 was definitely more of a walkabout kind of day. We didn't have any agenda. We just knew that when we were coming back from Hoi An that we would be so tired. I mean, we were walking around at 2 a.m. the start of day 7 to try to find antibacterial soap, unscented, which apparently, y'all, doesn't exist in Vietnam. Even their least scented thing had a scent to it. And I was just trying to find, like a dial antibacterial soap for my tattoo, but I couldn't find that. So, life lesson, packing it next time. Day 7 was such a chill vibe, which is exactly what we needed. It was actually surprisingly hot when we were out and about, so we were taking it nice and slow. I mean, having the Hoi An days right in between our Saigon day was actually a really great thing for us, and we personally really loved it because we left all of our luggage in Saigon and just traveled with what we needed to Hoi An. And then when we came back, we weren't having to unpack everything. We can kind of just go back to our home base. And we knew we were getting tired, and we knew that towards the end, energy starts going down. You're kind of just mentally preparing to go back to routine. And honestly, going back with the time zone definitely whooped my booty. So our last couple days was really meant to relax, recharge, not try to do a ton, but just enjoyed everything that we were doing. So yeah, definitely a lot of walking around, a lot of exploring areas that we didn't explore before, which again is totally the highlights of our trip is exploration. And honestly, by day 7, man, we just really missed our girlies. We just really wanted to be home as well. So everything was reminding us of them. And so one of the things we wanted to do was actually go into this giant market. We didn't even go upstairs, y'all. We were just on base ground floor. But we wanted to find some candy in bulk that we could bring home. And so we were just walking around, vibing around. This grocery store was freaking massive. And it was also really nice to get a break from outside. So this had aircon, So we just kind of walked in and moseyed around a bit, also trying to find antibacterial soap. But, like I said earlier, apparently unscented antibacterial soap doesn't really exist where we were at. Could not find it anywhere in any convenience store, any grocery stores. Like, we were on the hunt. But now I know, and I'm going to pack some for next time. But this giant shopping center was really cool. For one, AC. That was really nice to get away from the key. Two, I mean, I would go here again just to pick up stuff for staying in Saigon for so many days. So, soaps, lotions, and whatnot. So, next year when we go back, we'd probably hit this place earlier in our planning just to get some staples to have in our Airbnb.
Vanilla milk. Huh? Nha, xà bông nè ba. $2.99. Cross here? Yeah. Not really across. Are you trying to cross over into that street? Yeah, it's like this corner, that. Okay. Yeah. Love this place. You didn't take advantage of it. Really good.
So, something that we saw in Vietnam when we were walking around was a ton of venom milk stores, like actual venom milk stores that sell specialized milk products, which was kind of mind twisty to me. I didn't grow up eating a lot or drinking a lot of dairy milk products, and most Vietnamese people I know, in fact, most Asian people I know, are like a level of lactose intolerant. But there were these Vita milk shops everywhere, and we kept wanting to go in, so we finally got a chance to. I wish we would have gotten we found a Vita milk that was peanut butter chocolate in a convenience store. We didn't see it in here, but we were just really surprised and delighted that there were entire stores dedicated to these Vinamilk products. And this place was on the way to where we were going, which kind of the highlight of that day 7 was going to another open marketplace that Riley found that was known as like what is it called? Like a maze, because it was so twisty turny, and it definitely delivered on the maze part. So when we got here, we just saw piles of shoes. Yo, I'm not joking. Like, look at all these piles of just shoes. You got Crocs, you got Nikes, you kind of got everything. And they're just laid out in piles. And we would go into a store, and, you had to be prepared to take off your shoes right away because you couldn't wear into the store. So you take off your shoes and you would go and sit in and sift through these giant piles of shoes. This will be really fun to bring our kids back to next year, but it wasn't anything where I was like, oh, my chicken, this is awesome. It's like, look at these, just piles of shoes that you would try on. And it was definitely a maze walking through all of these alleyways, and 100% they are not trying to bargain with you. You either buy it or you don't, but they are completely unbothered. So definitely a different energy than the other markets we visited. But once we were done with that, we just continued to walk around and explore because we weren't in this district yet. So it was really fun just to go around and look and see what was going on. As you can see, this district was definitely not as busy, and the street was definitely not as busy as what we were used to. And my favorite part of just exploring with Riley is we'll stumble upon some really cool spots. So we come upon this place right here, and life is too short for boring snacks. 100% agreed. We went into this snack shop. There was actually 3 stories of just really well marketed snacks. So we ended up buying several things to bring home. I felt like it was a pretty good place. The quality of the snacks were solid. I would definitely say, though, they marketed to a younger generation with how they did all the marketing. And I got this little dessert off the side of the road. That was probably the worst thing I had in Saigon. And then I wanted some fresh sugar cane, so we got that as well. And again, it was just a super slow moving day, which I absolutely love when I'm traveling. Walking around, vibes, and just as you can see, it's getting darker, and it was just really fun to be moving and exploring, not having a solid game plan.
Yeah, I think we'll go Cardinals.
You go straight?
Yeah.
Let's walk. Yeah. Oh.
On the lake.
Yeah. I remember.
Oh. An occasional breeze is just wild.
Yeah. Feels nice.
That's the coast out.
Vibe completely.
Yeah. We got Shaw Valley Pho.
What was that?
But we still have alley pho.
Oh.
We can be fancy, but we
Yes.
still got alleys.
Okay. Alley surprisingly quiet and clean. It's too suspiciously nice.
What?
Pasta. Where is it, baby? Alleyway pho was closed. We didn't look close enough. That was on me. I picked it. So now we gotta find our way out of the alleyway to find someplace else to eat. Luckily, in Saigon, you're literally a stone toss away from something delightful. So it's more of having to decide what you're gonna eat.
Real though, decision paralysis set in. Could not decide on where to eat. There were so many options. But the things that we knew, we didn't want to eat inside of a bougie tourist attraction restaurant. So that counted a lot of things out. We wanted to eat at a place where it was just the right amount of popular, but not too popular where we had to wait for too long. So we went down this alleyway, and all these places were definitely marketed towards tourists, which was then automatically canceled out of my book. So we were walking around tired. I was getting hangry, and we really just had to make a decision. But by this point in our trip, we kind of knew where we could stand, centralize our thoughts. So we actually went back to Benton Market because Riley wanted a jackfruit smoothie.
Only 3.
Every time we come here.
I
My
could go for
smoothie is
like
it.
4 more. Jackfruit. Best fruit.
We've gone so much that they recognize who you are as soon as you walk up.
1 more.
Một cái nữa.
Yeah.
We found this pho restaurant that was probably the best pho we had in Vietnam. Not fancy. They ran a very efficient whole machine like setup right here. Immediately seated. They had giant plates of herbs on the table. They just knew what you were ordering. So loved this place. 100% would go back. Even better, I would say, compared to the Michelin restaurant we went to that had pho. This place was 100% it for taste, experience, and quality. Then after pho, after Riley and I like to eat a big meal, we like to walk around a lot. So we went more into the exploratory phase. This was definitely not an area, like I said, that we were walking around at night. So it was really fun to see the city come alive. As people that I would say we are not night owls, it was really interesting for us to see how crowded and busy things were at night because we were rarely out at night. And so we just had a lot of fun walking around, exploring, and just catching up and processing the last several days together.
I'll go when you go.
For that crazy speech.
He was looking down.
He was looking down.
What?
I said he was looking down. He's like, you know what's fun? More fun than driving safe, driving crazy. Whoa! Look at me. Sidewalk.
Sidewalking?
You might as well. It's past 7 o'clock and we're tired.
Yeah.
The other half of the street's no problem. Party time.
I know in one of my other videos, I talked about this really popular party street, and I showed it during the day where clearly it wasn't busy, but we stumbled upon this street at night trying to get back to our Airbnb, and it was the fastest route. So we decided to walk the street. A lot of bright lights, really noisy, really jam packed. I just got really weird, creepy vibes when we were on this street. And I think if I really sit back and peel back the layers of like what felt super creepy about it, I would definitely say it almost felt on that street was the embodiment of Asian fetishization, like for Asian women. And that just made me super uncomfy. Also, recognizing, this scene just isn't really my scene. So I was trying to get through and get home so I could rest. But yeah, definitely very crowded, a lot of lights, a lot of noise, a lot of people, and a lot of tourists, a lot of people walking around inebriated. Definitely not my scene. So we were just cutting through, y'all. It was a time.